Republicans only have a 4-vote majority in the House. Do we even think it's a possibility for Speaker McCarthy to get the support for his bill?
Yeah, I think for openers, and this is the beginning of a dance that will take place over the coming weeks. Now, this dance may end poorly, right? Somebody may end up falling in the swimming pool here, but we are at the beginning of a phase where McCarthy, who seems to have gotten the A-OK from Mitch McConnell and the Senate Republicans to try this tying the cuts for the raise in the debt ceiling and to give it a shot, right? That's why he went up to New York to talk to the money folks on Wall Street. That's why he's doing what he's doing. I think he's got a decent shot to pass. We've heard from Nancy Mace and others some reservations, but so far, at least, it seems like this is a fairly typical kind of proposal that you might have seen from John Boehner or somebody else in the past.
Okay, so this is not something radically new, but obviously President Biden and Democrats, they want to get this bill done, or at least some type of bill done. What about this clean debt limit bill that they're talking about? What does clean mean?
Well, cleanliness is in the eye of the beholder. To Democrats, it's clean because it's unconditional. For Republicans, they'd say that's dirty tricks. You can't just raise the debt ceiling without having cuts and do something about spending. Now, the Republicans' position on this is weakened by the fact that even when the country was in a period of powerful economic growth, they were still running trillion-dollar deficits under President Trump. But this clean proposal is Biden's part of the dance, right? That's their step one. Republicans say, we want the moon. Democrats say, we'll give you nothing. And only after those two positions are in place. And as you rightly pointed out, it's an open question whether McCarthy really has the votes to get that done. But assuming he does, then Democrats come back and say, no compromise. We're not going to accept anything. And then we'll find out how big of a pickle the country may be in.
We see the political procrastination every single year around budget talks. It's getting old. But do Americans, everyday people, actually suffer at all in the waiting time both Democrats and Republicans insist on leading up to June?
I think, look, we've been in this reality for more than a decade. This goes back to Barack Obama's first term. The most famous one of these was a decade ago, for goodness sakes, when Ted Cruz read Green Eggs and Ham. We had a government shutdown to defund Obamacare that went nowhere. I think markets understand, people understand that there's a lot of flummery, there's a lot of theater around this that goes on. But here's the problem. If they actually screw up, right, if the posturing, which has become a necessary component of keeping together these balkanized, incredibly angry, negatively partisan engaged two parties, if they get to the end and there's a problem, the consequences could be severe. So we go from a period of time where people were worried and then not much happened to now the fact that they may not worry sufficiently because the consequences could still be very real.
But in reality, I just have to get to this. I have to humor the fear mongers, you know, because we've seen it all in this unprecedented time that we're living in. But we've not actually technically seen a default in our history. What if we did? What would happen?
Well, so Republicans, they're the most radical position among Republicans is to embrace the default. To what they call order the spending, prioritize spending, pass legislation to shut down these agencies, to pay the debt, but not do this and X, Y, Z. That's not going to happen, right? Democrats aren't going to go for that. And Republicans don't have control of the Senate, and they have a paper-thin, razor-thin majority in the House. So then the question becomes, how bad do Democrats want to make it in the other direction? Would the political motivation, would the strategic motivation be to make the default as painful and brutal as possible to force Republicans to the negotiating table? What does that do to the national credit? What does that do to people's confidence in the United States at a time where, by the way, we are facing down two serious threats, one from Vladimir Putin, one from Xi's China? This is not a time where Americans probably want to look like a basket case of a country that can't pay its bills on time. So there's a ton of pressure here. There's a ton of consequences. And we have to see whether our politicians can act like grown-ups for long enough to try to get this done without causing real harm to real people.
Yeah, I know that both Democrats and Republicans would like to come to some solution. They're just going to drag it out. Love your bow tie and love the birds chirping in the background there in Washington. Chris Stirewalt, thank you.
Springtime.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.